Welcome to Spooky STEM with Witch Marsha. Today I thought it would be fun to work on some STEM projects with candy that you might be getting for Halloween. This is everyday candy and things that you already have in your house, so you could try these experiments at home. The first thing that I have is a cup of regular water, but I've added baking soda to it. 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Into the baking soda, I'm going to add gummy worms that I've cut up into 4s. In you go, my friends, in you go. All right, now we will set these off to the side and let those gummy worms bathe in the baking soda and water for about 15 minutes, and then we will finish this STEM project. The second project that we're going to get started with is growing gummy bears. So here I have 4 glasses of water. In 2 of the glasses, I am going to add salt. About a teaspoon of salt. 1. And 2. In the other 2 glasses, we're just going to leave water. I now have gummy bears, just regular gummy bears that you like to eat. And I'm going to put 1 gummy bear in the salt water and 1 in the plain. And then we're going to try it with another color just to see if color makes a difference. We're going to let those gummy bears sit in there and soak, and we'll come back to them in a little bit. The third project that we have is disappearing candy. For the disappearing candy, you need 4 bowls. You need 4 candy pumpkins. And then we have 4 different kinds of liquid. We have tonic water, and you just pour the water over the pumpkin until it's over top of the water. Tonic water is kind of like a carbonated water. So you just cover the pumpkin and let it sit. Okay? Our second bowl is going to have oil. And again, you just pour it in until it covers the pumpkin. Our third bowl is going to have vinegar. And once again, you just cover it. And then my fourth bowl is going to have water. Just regular, everyday water. Okay, and we'll leave those sit, and we'll see what happens to those as they sit and soak in their different kinds of liquid. Okay, our fourth candy experiment is a Skittle experiment. So regular everyday Skittles that you probably have and like. I had my witch assistant in training make a pumpkin out of our Skittles today. You can make any design that you like. What you do is you get your Skittles arranged on your plate, and then you start with water right in the middle of the plate. until all the Skittles are covered with water. And then we'll watch what happens. You can see it kind of starting already. Okay. Our next experiment is floating M's on the M&Ms. So in this bowl, we have 4 M&Ms of different colors. So you just pour water over the M&Ms. Oops, try to keep them not moving. You want to lay them so that the M's are facing up so that you can see the M's. And then we're just going to let that sit and let that soak in for a little bit. Oh, let's look at the Skittles, at what the Skittles are doing. So the color comes off of the Skittles, but they do not mix together. They stay in their own separate areas. Okay, and if you look, our pumpkins in our different liquids are starting to disappear. You can look at the different stages that they're in. This one is really bubbling. The other ones are starting to do some different things. If you take a closer look at our gummy bear experiment over there, it's going. Our gummy worms are still soaking. And then our M&Ms are starting to change. So if you can see how the colors in the M&Ms are coming off, but they're staying in their separate quarters. Okay, the next experiment that we have is the magic inflating balloon. So I have just a cup of soda, or a bottle of soda. Ooh. Looks like my assistant was using this one before to play catch with the cat. So just a bottle of soda. And then I have a balloon that I have already bought a package, or poured a package of Pop Rocks in. My assistant can hand me a package of the Pop Rocks there. I will show you. Just took one of these packages of Pop Rocks and I poured the whole package into this balloon. Okay. You then take the balloon, stretch it out, put it around the top of the bottle. Okay. And then you take the balloon part that has the Pop Rocks in it and you hold it up and shake those Pop Rocks into the bottle. And then watch as the magic happens. As the Pop Rocks dissolve, they let off carbon dioxide that comes up and fills up the balloon. So it is blowing up the balloon. You don't have to use any of your hot air. You can just fill it up using a bottle of soda and Pop Rocks. It's still going. I don't know if you can hear the Pop Rocks dissolving and going inside the soda. They are popping and fizzing. They are going up and down in the soda bottle. You can see them dancing around in there. Can you see those in the bottle? So when it first started, the balloon kind of filled up with that, you could see the bubbles, the fizz from the soda. But as it's stopping, the candies are dissolving now and disappearing. That liquid has come back down. But our balloon is still filled with air. That carbon is still in there, still working. All right, we will set that off to the side and let that continue going. The Skittles have continued to dissolve. They have, my tray is not even, so they have run together. But you can still see the stripes over here where they ran off individually to the colors. Okay, let's take a look at our M&Ms. The M&M colors are still dissolving off of there. They're still staying in their 4 separate colors, not really mixing with the others. We are watching to see what happens to the M's. The M's will be floating off of the candies, and they'll be floating, the M's will be floating on top of the water. Give that a few more minutes to keep going. Okay, we got a few more minutes for our worms to soak in here. So we'll continue to let them soak. You can take a look at our candies to see what's been happening to our candies. If you can see this one, that is the tonic water, is filled with bubbles. The tonic water is turned a light orange, but it's the pumpkin itself is still bubbling and fizzing, so it's kind of hard to see what's going on to that one. The one in the oil really doesn't look like it's changed a whole lot. It is the oil's still the same color. The pumpkin doesn't look like it's changing. The one in vinegar it looks like it is, the water is turning orange, and I don't know, it looks like the pumpkin is kind of dancing in there, if you can see that. We'll give them a few more minutes and see where they're going. And then this one is just the water. And so, and again, the water is kind of turning orange, and it's got some green in it from the stem. But it doesn't look like it's changing too much. There's a few bubbles in there, but not too much. Okay, you could hand me the gummy bears, please. Take a look at our gummy bears up here. If you can see, while they're inside the water, you can already kind of see the change happening. So we are going to take these gummy bears out and kind of look to see if they've changed at all when they've been inside. So this is a gummy bear that I just took out of the package, and it's laying down there. This is one that was in regular water, so it's still about the same size, really hasn't changed too much. And then this is one that was in the salt water, and it's gotten just a little bit bigger. If we leave it soak, it will continue to get bigger as it goes. So we'll put those back in there and continue watching those and seeing if they continue to grow. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our pumpkins. And let's look at the one in the tonic water. So if you can see, some of it has eaten away. It is like melting or dissolving. You can see some little holes in there where it's dissolved away. The one in the oil has not changed at all. It is the water, or the green is just starting to run a little bit, but otherwise it's not changed at all. The one in the vinegar is the one that looks like it's dancing. So if I pick that up, it leaves some of those coatings in there, and you can see where it is starting to dissolve away in the vinegar. And then lastly, in the water, this one is also starting to dissolve. You can see more of it missing than you can on any of them. You can see where it's all peeling away and melting away in layers. Okay, let's go back to our gummy worms. Let's go back to our gummy worms. We're going to pick our worms out of our baking soda here. And I already have a cup of vinegar that is sitting right next to it. It's just everyday vinegar. When we put the worms in the vinegar, we should see them start to dance. So we're seeing some bubbles in there. And they are working up in there. Add a couple more. Give them just a little bit. Oh, I see some movement in there. They're kind of moving around in there. The bubbles are working. They're getting those worms to move around a little bit. I hope you can see that at home on the video. They're kind of dancing around on the bottom. The bubbles from the vinegar meeting the bubbles from the baking soda make the worms start moving around. Still looking at our M&Ms. Trying to see if we have any M's that have floated off yet. Not quite. Oh, you can see one here in the green. The M is over here off to the side. You see it? The M has, it's ripped in half, but part of the M is floating over here on the side. So if you leave them It usually takes about between 9 and 11 minutes for the M's to come off, and then the M's usually float right on the top of the water. But still, you can see the colors have not mixed with our M&Ms. The colors are still separated. They keep in their own areas. Stir our worms a little bit. Give them some more baking soda in there to keep them going. All right, well, I'd like to thank you for joining me today for some STEM experiments with candy. And like I said, some of this candy is candy you'll get for Halloween, or you may already have it at home. It's always fun to see what you could do. There are different things you could do. There's other liquids you could try the pumpkins in. You could try it in a soda. You could try it in milk. You could try different things and see what happens. Same thing with the Skittles or the M&Ms. You could try them in different liquids and see if the same thing happens. Watch the gummy bears. If you leave them in there longer, see how big they can grow when they're in the salt water. And see if you can get the gummy worms to dancing. All right, well, have a great day. Enjoy your spookery. Thank you.